Just about all last year, protests and rioting against police. Mainstream media thought all of this was just grand, the Black Lives Matter movement. But have you noticed over the past several weeks, months, we've seen, I believe, an uptick in mass shootings. That's when 4 more people are shot or killed at the same time. And we're seeing more of these things. Boulder, Atlanta, and now in California. This was today, 4 people killed. Yesterday, Orange, California, 4 people killed, including a 9-year-old boy. Could it be that the violence we're seeing can be associated with what happened all last year? Really encouraged, I think, a total lack of respect for law enforcement and society in general. A couple of issues I want to go over, including this one with Mark Morgan, former acting commissioner of the Customs and Border Patrol, visiting fellow at the Heritage Foundation. Welcome back. David Bossie, president, Citizens United, and senior advisor to Trump 2020. Welcome, gentlemen. Mark, first to you. Does that sound crazy? We have seen, it seems like, anecdotally at least, more mass shootings. I wonder if the case can be made that it could be associated with the lawlessness that pervaded basically all last year.
No, so look, I don't think that's hyperbole, Greg, and we've talked about this before. I go back to, I know this probably is a little corny, but I think the basic principles of any civilized society is the rule of law. And I think it doesn't get real complicated. If you allow people to violate the law, if you don't support and enforce the rule of law, it only begets more lawlessness. It's just like immigration. If you allow and support and facilitate illegal immigration, you're just going to beget more illegal immigration. So no, I think that you're spot on. And this is something that we really should be having and driving meaningful dialogue. Look, you could also talk about the increase in violence across major metropolitan cities throughout this country as well.
You know, Donald Trump once joked and called the coronavirus Kung flu. He said it at a rally. It was a joke. And they're trying to say that Donald Trump, and by the way, we looked it up, David Bossie, that's about the most controversial thing he said in our book regarding the coronavirus. It's totally normal to call something after the country where it originated or the region where it originated. David, it's kind of absurd that they make that case against Donald Trump, yet very few are making the case that Mark and I just talked about.
Well, first of all, I just think we have to look at this violence and put it in perspective to the coronavirus. I think we're not talking enough about what's going on with mental illness around the country and why maybe these things are happening when we have locked everyone up across America for the last year. You know, Greg, it's important to note that suicides are up, depression is up, kids being out of school, the stress on everyone. And I don't know why each one of these people, especially, in California yesterday, we had Colorado last week. And of course, Colorado, it turns out he's a Syrian Muslim, and the mainstream media goes absolutely silent about that. And so they're not honest with the American people about any of these things, whether it's from coronavirus or an outbreak of what happened last year, as you guys were talking about. I don't know, but it's obviously a terrible thing for our country. But we can't allow these things to ruin every American's Second Amendment right.
You know, I remember Donald Trump speaking a lot about depression, about alcoholism, about drug use, and warning that those things could increase during a shut-in, during a lockdown. And he was the only one really raising those issues. It's something else that we have to be thankful for and appreciate. Mark Morgan, let's go to the border now. And, we do see babies being rescued by Texas Rangers. Did you see that? Babies are now being thrown in the water. Unbelievable. But I want to play this for you from AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who says what should happen as a result of this crisis.
What is happening here is not the same as what happened during the Trump administration, where they took babies out of the arms of their mothers and deported their families and permanently traumatized these children, some of whom we don't know will ever be reunified with their family again. Those families are owed reparations, period.
First, on reparations, Mark.
Look, Greg, I don't know where to begin to discuss just how absurd and nonsensical. This is the same, representative that, cried in front of empty parking lots. The rhetoric that she's been spewing against the brave men and women, United States men and women, the United States Border Patrol. Look, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's just another example of where this administration stands and where the open border advocates and far left progressive believe that our borders and they should remove the illegal part from illegal immigration. It's absolutely absurd. This is just another incentive and reward that we're going to be able to give individuals that are going to encourage more illegal immigration. And those pictures that we've seen that you referred to, Greg, look, we could talk this entire hour already, the episodes of how, look, we've already had a 9-year-old die. We saw earlier this week about the smugglers dropping infant, 2, 3-year-olds over the fence, just leaving them fend for themselves. We could go on and on. That is what is inhumane, and that's what this administration is facilitating.
David Bossie, wrapping up, you advised President Trump. I hope you're still advising him from time to time. What are you thinking? What is he thinking about 2024? I had him on the show about a week and a half ago. Too far ahead to make a decision that makes sense, but I don't know. I have a feeling he's warming up to it.
Well, I got to tell you, Greg, I think it's a long way off for him. I think he's solely focused on winning back the House and Senate in 2022. Joe Biden's radical left-wing agenda is going to give Republicans every opportunity to win back the House and potentially the Senate in 2022, which puts the president in a great place to decide how to help make America great again. And if I could just for a second, AOC is really, it's just disgusting. She seems to be turning from a socialist into really a pathetic, sick political hack. That's all she is. Everything is race baiting. Everything is hate filled. She hated President Trump, and she goes down to the border when President Trump is in office, and she says that look at these people keeping these kids in cages. She's nowhere to be found today. It is, and it's really just disappointing. So I think the president's keeping his eye on these issues. He is talking to the American people, just like when he was visiting with you, on the important issues of the day, and he's going to be there to make sure we win in 2022.
Did you say a race-baiting hack?
I did.
Something along those lines. I think she found her niche in the Democrat Party, and there's a big one to fill. Amazing, amazing. No, I agree. David Bossie, thank you very much. Mark Morgan, thank you very much. To be continued, gentlemen.